Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. I want to greet all of you affectionately. Uh, Vasudev is also here. Good. Hare Krishna, Vasudev. Would you all like to come a little closer, perhaps? Then we have a little bit more. You have fixed your lenses already. Yes, Prabhuji, you were the one who helped me. Can you please find from in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, a particular, yes, Divyat, I forgot the A, Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumalha. Oh yes, Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto. There are two references. This verse appears twice in the CC, and I need to see. One has a lengthy purport of Prabhupada. Is this the first line? Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumalha. Okay, I leave you finding it. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. Hari Bol. How are you doing? Tell me. Hari Bol. This means I should chant more. Hari Bol means chant the names of Hari. Bol means chant. Say and good. I will do. Do you take enough rest? You do. No. Yes. Finally, some honest statement. My dear devotees, somehow you need to pace yourself and take rest. It's not only because of physical reasons. It helps you to digest or process the informations. This is a little bit the problem we have in these retreats. There are so many interesting things, but a retreat means also to digest. So in our Govardhan retreats, we tried to solve this with a morning session called Alone with Krishna, where everyone sits here in this forest under some tree and just yes, free time, however you wish to use it. So I'm almost ready. But it's not this one. It will be the identical translation, but this doesn't have a purport as far as I see, no? Is it? So it's the other reference. Good. Let us just. Is this machine? Here. Please let us just withdraw our consciousness by just chanting 3 times all together the Dvada Sakara mantra. Om. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Long inhale, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Long inhale. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, then the reference you found. We take the voice. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. Before I get into the question, who is qualified, I want to, and what to do to earn qualification, I want to just pick up where we left yesterday. Let me again ask before I start, do you all hear me acoustically? Again, I will turn to Lakshmi Moni, who's quite in the back. You hear properly? So or good? Good. Fine. We have raised the seat a little bit because I want to see you. Now I can see everyone who falls asleep. Before that, it was not possible. We were talking this morning, or practicing this morning, to chant with both an awareness of the meaning of the holy names. And there is a distinct reason for this, my dear devotees. When someone addresses us, who knows us, immediately we are responding in a different way. So if someone addresses Krishna with knowing what the mantra means or meditating about the meaning, Krishna reciprocates also much more lively, much more directly. Therefore, we usually in spiritual circles have this habit of educating ourselves in Sambandha Gyan. You know, now there is a lot of activity in the atheistic kirtan scene. What I mean with this is, one moment I'm trying to do it. It's kirtan without glorification of Krishna. I have been invited to many of these kirtan programs where the kirtan leaders tell their audience, no, we sing now so that each one of you discovers and finds their own voice. They explain the voice not just in the physical sense of, making sound, but also one's own individual expression. No mention of Krishna. Other kirtan leaders will say, we chant these names now. I have no idea what they mean. And everyone laughs. Wow, that's super cool to say such a thing. And we do this really to meditate and come in contact with the all-pervading presence which is within you and me, and in this way form a unity. Again, no mention of Krishna. Chanting the Maha Mantra without knowing Krishna is Krishna wonders that they chant my name, but they don't mean me. No, they have no meaning. So therefore, the great acharyas have given us various meanings of the holy name, and we will give you now two meanings. Oh, Krishna, can we sing the Dham? You will see the difference. Yes, please. So our mantra starts with Hari. It means Hari. Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes, and I request you when you sing in a moment to have this meaning in your mind. The Supreme Lord is known as Hari. Why is the Supreme Lord known as Hari? Hari can mean stealing. Why is he meant, addressed like this? Yes, the Supreme Lord is known as Hari because he takes away the ignorance that troubles his devotees by showing his devotees his actual nature and personal spiritual form. So as you chant now, I request you to be mindful that Krishna can take away also the coverings of your ignorance. And yes, he can actually reveal himself first in the heart. As a spurti, he comes in the mirror of the heart, and you see him there. And he can show you his spiritual form and how he is, his merciful nature. Please sing with me immediately now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I take away your ignorance. I'm prepared to reveal myself and my actually nature to you. Sing with this awareness. Sing now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare louder, louder. Yes, yes. Hari is also the vocative form of Hari, but Hari can also mean the vocative form of Hara. Who's Hara? Radha, good. Radha is also known by the name Hara because she steals Krishna's mind. And she is the incarnation of Krishna's joy. So singing the Hare Krishna mantra, be aware that one is Radha who steals Krishna's mind, and is so much full of joy. Sing now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I am Radha. I steal Krishna's mind. And I'm the incarnation of Krishna's joy. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then there is the name Krishna. First there was Hare, which refers either to Hari or to Hara, and then is Krishna. Krishna means the dark, lotus-eyed Lord, the only master of the highest joy, who brings pleasure to Gokula, the son, the beautiful, darling son of Nanda. Please sing now, being aware of Anantaika Subhaswami Shyama Kamala Lochana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Dark Lord Krishna has lotus eyes. He is the only master of the highest joy. He brings pleasure to Gokula and is Nanda Suno, Nanda Suta, or Nanda Nandana, son of Nanda. And finally, in the holy name is the name Rama. Krishna is that Rama because Krishna is also known as Rama because the joys of life in Madhurya Rasa are the essence of his being. There is no saying of Krishna without Madhuratva, the sweetness which he incorporates in his laughter, in his glances, in his gestures, in his pastimes, all sweet, sweet. And he's known as Rama because he brings pleasure to Srimati Radharani. Please sing now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama. I, Krishna, am known as Rama because of my sweetness, my smile, and my activities in relationship to the devotees. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh my Lord, you come as Krishna and take away the ignorance. Please, don't stop in my case. Take my ignorance. Oh, holy name. Radha, you are there. Please, I'm very sad. Please give joy, Gladini, Shakti. And my Lord Rama, be kind to me. Bring me forward to your divine pastimes. Such things can be meditated about when you chant with the meaning and awareness. Please, let us sing now. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Sita Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Everybody please sing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. One more time, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mantrata Chintanam. To be mindful of the meaning of the holy name quickly brings us to the place where we do not chant mechanic any longer, but where we chant in sambandha, in a genuine connection with the Lord, who has so kindly appeared to us in a form which is so easy to appreciate, that is the holy name. Prabhupada had a god brother who became above 100 years old. This god brother, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, loved Prabhupada dearly and was always invited for Prabhupada's disappearance festival in the Vrindavan Mandir, and he spoke in the courtyard as an honored guest. And then once he came to our temple, and there was a devotee. There was someone who had a Harinam Chatta, but the Harinam Chatta somehow slipped from his shoulders and fell on the ground. When this exalted Vaishnava saw this, he immediately paid his obeisances. The same mood of reverence was given to by Srila Prabhupada to the holy name. Once, I think it were the Australian devotees, but I don't know if it was Sydney or Melbourne or wherever. They had painted with flowers, not painted, they put flowers before the temple entrance, and it was Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada came and he saw Hare Krishna in flowers. He stopped. Everyone thought, what is wrong? And he went back with folded hands and took the back entrance of the temple. He would not step on Hare Krishna, knowing we cannot step on Krishna. Also, we would not step on a deity. So these devotees see Krishna in the form of the holy name, and they have given us wonderful meanings of the holy name. Sometimes devotees ask, but Maharaj, how can we chant and concentrate on the chanting and then be mindful of the meaning of the holy name? I mean, we can't hold two things in our mind. And you talked earlier about opposites thinking, that when someone is harassed by negative thoughts, then he deliberately thinks about positive thoughts. And because the mind can't hold one, if he thinks strong about the positive thoughts, then negative thoughts will go. So this shows that only one thing at the same time is possible. By the way, I've asked this person, this loudspeaker, to test your ability to concentrate. So this is all part of the lecture. It's not, but we have to concentrate. Look at this here. What is it? Tea, yes. My dear devotees, once it was only water, clear water. But this morning I decided to have some peppermint tea for refreshment. So I put a bag of peppermint tea in it. And this bag of peppermint tea, the taste of the tea, dissolved in the water. Now it is no longer clear water, it is peppermint tea. No? So in the same way, when it works with the holy name, you chant the holy name and you are mindful of Krishna while you chant, and after some time it becomes one. It's one thing, not two things. And then you can chant what we call in our Hare Krishna language, the language we use in our movement, prayerful chanting, no? Or conscious chanting, or mindful chanting. These are new terms. Conscious chanting and mindful chanting is not so often used. So yes. Can you understand the analogy? Yes, no, yeah, good, good. By training, and my dear devotees, this is about training, we can bring the two together. With this, I come to a very important part of my lecture. How is learning taking place in our tradition? Yesterday we heard there are four items. First, you hear from an authorized source, then you have discussion with your students, then you do self-study where you reflect deeply about what you hear, and then sometimes the fourth is kala, time. We need some time before we mature to these spiritual subjects. It doesn't happen so always immediately. But today I want to bring also forth another understanding. In the Gita, Krishna says when we want to learn, we must approach a spiritual master, or let us say teacher. You can also say shiksha, gurus. Learning in the Vedic times was a very personalized affair where you needed people to instruct you and so that the knowledge would blossom forth. Just reading and not even, excuse me, please, listening to a lecture would help you to learn completely. I once asked a personality, what is the place of uh, breath control or breathing? And the person said, yeah, that is in our tradition. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. But these things are meant to be taught from guru to disciple personally. I also remember how Prabhupada said, I wish I could train each one of my disciples personally, but what to do? There's so many and so little time. The idea which I want to get is, knowledge remains theoretically if you are not taught how to apply it. Knowledge remains theoretically if you have no practice by which you are imbibing the knowledge. This is perhaps the reason why we have so much knowledge and so little experience in our movement. No? Some of those who observe our movement have said this. So much theoretical knowledge, but so much a lack of experience. So that is because you need to be trained in a practice. And I must say, my lecturing style during these seminars, I also give lectures where I just go through verses and philosophy and so. But during here, I want to always say something and make a practice out of it, because only then you learn it. If you only hear about it, you don't learn it. It remains an idea, a concept. What do you think? This is the Vedic system. Now, I'm not your guru. This is not what I'm saying. But I'm here as a lecturer and a teacher of the Bhajan Rahasya. And today I will train you in humility. Wow! I will not say be humble. I will say this is how you do it. Is it all right? Then there will be no more ego problems in at least in our circle. We all quote in our movement, Trinara Pisanechena, and we all fight with our egos. Oh, Hare Krishna. No realization. Lots of theory. Good. My dear devotee, Bhaktivinoda, devotees, plural. Bhaktivinoda Thakur asks a question in the Tritiya Yama sadhana, the sadhana or practice in the third division of the day. It's the third chapter. And he asked the question, who is qualified to chant? Then he answers this question by quoting one verse, which is known to all of you, please join me in saying it. Trinadapi sinuchena taro api sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya madani. Krishnadas Kaviraj gives us background for this verse, and he then gives a unique translation in the 20th chapter of the Antya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here we find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting in the small room of the Gambhira. The original Gambhira is about 2 or 3 meters underneath the ground. And it's really small. It is from here to there and a little long in this direction. But this is the room. He says, Mahaprabhu, he's glowing with the effulgence, and he is very moved because he will give his last teachings now. O Swarup Damodar, O Ramananda, listen to the way you must chant the holy name, so that love for Krishna quickly awakens. Acha, he will now talk about a methodology, a sadhana, which is to be observed in chanting. For what end? What is the result of this? Yes, love for Krishna. Even though, so he addresses two very high-class beings. Swarup Damodar, he is a writer. He wrote a Katacha about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. He's a poet. He's a kirtan singer, like anything. And the second one in the audience is who? Ramananda Roy. He is an influential politician. But he is the greatest of devotees, and we hear in the spiritual world he is Vishaka. He's a divine personality. He's not human like you and me. So he says to them, even though you may be the best of human beings, you Swarup and Ramananda, you may be the best, you should still think of yourself as lower than the grass. The grass is a servant to the cows, and the grass will never protest when someone walks over it. Very, very humble, the grass. You should also engage in two kinds of tolerance, following the example of the tree. Sometimes there is no gazier for you, but the tree also cannot switch on a gazier. Is it called gazier? Geyser. Geyser, hot water. Oh, sorry, this is not in the text. I'm dreaming. You should engage in two kinds of tolerance, following the example of the tree. A tree does not protest even when it is being cut. Or someone writes with a color that is not environment friendly, a holy name on the tree. The tree does not protest, even when it's being cut and when it asks no one for water, even if it is drying up and dying of thirst. The tree also gives all its riches to whoever asks for them, and through rain and heat provides shelter to whoever takes it. A Vaishnava may be the greatest person, but he is without pride. He respects all living creatures, knowing them to be the abodes of Lord Krishna. Let me ask you, who of you speaks Hindi? Oh, good. Then you are my solution. Before this here is a merchant. I think he's selling something, no? Maybe some of you, two of you can go to him and say, the lecturer has forbidden anyone in the group to buy something from you. But he has a positive message for you. You will make 1,000,000 rupees when you move 200 meters down the road. Who can do this? Yes, but very friendly. It's just a very exciting news you have. No one will buy anything here. You just, in a language they can understand. But millions of rupees wait for you 300 meters down the road. Yeah? And say it kindly. And if he is not convinced, then pay your obeisances to him with great humility. No? Yeah. Yeah. If he understands it is not in his interest to be here, then he might go. So this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's translation. We should follow the straw because it is very dean, very fallen. It's on the ground, really, and it serves others without protest. We should follow the example of the tree. Why? Because he's so tolerant, does not complain. And we should give respects to others, but don't do it at the London way, where you say all kinds of flattering words that have no meaning and sound like an offense to the person who is thoughtful. For things that are real there, and don't wait for applause, no, and fan following. This is how you get the qualifications to chant the holy name. Why is this so? When something so very high flows into something else, that something else must be low. Look at this. Here is water, oops, and it flows now into the glass. If I would put the glass here, the water would never ever come in the glass. The holy name, in the similar fashion, will not visit you. He will not come. Only the letters, the alphabetic letters will come, perhaps, but not Krishna. If you are not taking deliberately, consciously a lower position. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his Ananda Chandrika commentary on one verse of Ujjvala Nilamani, he says, the Lord who is not attained by anyone, is so special, can only be attained by those who accept the sorrow of their own lowliness. It's a sorrow to accept I'm actually not so great. Yet that sorrow involves an anugati. Anugati means you have to follow an example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the example of two, what was it? Grass and tree. But here in this highly elevated scripture, it said that sorrow, that humility, that feeling of wretchedness comes only if you follow the example of the gopis. However, this is impossible for a person like who could not follow the example of the gopis. Lakshmi Devi, yes. This is impossible for Lakshmi, and even Brahma and Shiva have difficulties to become that humble. Mm. My dear devotees, humility is not a chic mood. Chic means, fashionable. Oh, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. It's much more. It's a deep feeling inside where you actually feel wretched. Wretched means forlorn, alone, disqualified. Mm. There was once a disciple who wanted to come to a first class guru. And this guru thought this person is actually so impressed by his abilities. This was a famous scholar. It's a real story. So the guru said, "You are a scholar, you are highly intelligent. I will accept you, but under one condition only. You must find someone or something that is inferior to you in all respects, that is lower than you in all respects." So the scholar thought, that's so easy. Soon I will change my name, will be initiated. I mean, everyone practically in this town is lower than me. They don't know so many slokas, and they don't have money like me, and so on. So he thought, well, I just go to my neighbor, and he went to the neighbor, a simple man. He said, could you just come to me to see this guru? The neighbor said, yes, okay. I always wanted to meet him. So the scholar went with him, and he thought, well, this guru is quite intelligent. He couldn't have made it that simple. So he went, this neighbor. So the scholar thought, well, he said I have to bring someone who's lower than me in all respects. Actually, this neighbor is not qualified for this. He is more strong. He built his own house with his own strength. I saw him sitting down for a meal. He can eat much more than I eat. So in this way, he's not lower to me in all respects. So he said, I'm sorry, tomorrow, and you can go on your own. You don't need to come. I tell Guru Maharaj that you come this evening when I see him. I tell him you come tomorrow. You go alone. So he thought, well, who is lower than me in all respects? And he saw a donkey who really he stood in the hot sun. From time to time, he belched, and he was really dumb and dull. So he went to the donkey master and said, "Can I bring your donkey, please? You can get a few rupees here. I bring him back in after half an hour." Okay. So as he was leading the donkey, he thought it can't be that simple. Guru Maharaj had said, find someone who's lower in all respects, but the donkey, yes, he's foolish, but he carries bricks, piles of bricks. I can't do that. So he brought the donkey back, and the donkey then, how do you say this in proper English? He passed stool. Here I have stool. That is inferior in all respects to me. But as he thought, he thought the stool is actually a miracle of nature. The donkey ate something and it digested it. And the stool is very useful to be put on the fields. So the story is a long story, I make it short. He could understand that no one is inferior to him in all respects. Everyone and everything has qualities that are superior to his own qualities. So he went to the Guru and said, Guru Maharaj, I'm not qualified to be your disciple. I couldn't find someone who was inferior to me in all respects. The Guru smiled. That was what he had in mind. And he said, come back tomorrow. That's your initiation day. My dear devotees, only when you take deliberately a vision of reality, where you step out of your self-conceit and understand, I am actually fallen, I have left Krishna, I'm here now in the material world. I'm bound to make mistakes and so on. And if you, from this position, act, are you qualified? Otherwise, the Lord cannot be attained as long as you think you have qualities that are superior to the qualities of others. The Lord who is not attained can only be attained by those who accept the sorrow of their own loneliness. Thank you, Prabhu. It was successful. Thank you. It's not easy for us to be really humble because we will have to say goodbye to the desire to be validated, glorified, and praised by others. And normally we are all very insecure, and it is our food, the praise, the food of our ego. The ego can only be killed when you ignore it. It can, okay, why kill the ego? It can only be dealt with properly. Prabhupada says at the fifth canto there's a purport. If you say no to the mind, no, then as long as you feed the ego, it inflates, it blows up like an air balloon. So therefore, Vaishnavas have always run away from praise, thinking it to be a cup of poison that is only covered in the top with tasty cream. If you have a cup of poison, sheer poison, that can kill you when you even only zip a little bit on it, but it is covered with nice cream, then you are deceived. So praise, which inflates your ego, is compared to be a poison cup, and it only can go away, the poisonous effect, if you're praised and you say, this is the mercy of my spiritual master, the mercy of my superiors, the mercy of God. Whatever you find in me is the mercy of God. In the West, in Europe, we have the Western Savior. His name is Jesus, and he came after giving hope and life to millions of people into the town of Jerusalem. This is an old story. So Jesus was riding on a donkey, and as he came in, the people showered flowers of gratitude on him and praised him. They took palm leaves and fanned him, and they sang him, O Jesum Christum, Kyrie eleison. They glorified him with songs like this and other songs. And Jesus just bent down like this, and he said to himself, I'm only the servant of the Lord, and it's the Lord's mercy that I can say something. But there was someone underneath him. There was the donkey. And the donkey who carried him, he thought, finally, someone understands my glory. Finally, someone understands that I'm glorious. So you have to choose. Do you go the way of the Western savior, or do you want to go the way of the donkey in your life? The donkey thought the flowers were for him. The praise was for him. And the person for whom it was meant understood it was the mercy of the Lord. The English word humility is closely connected and comes, some say, from the word humus. I now need an English speaker. Who can speak this word, humus? It's fertile earth. How do we say this? Humus. Yes, the British people say humus. No? What is it? The fertile earth, humus. So, from good fertile earth, many things can grow. And I will show you, we will go with Bhaktivinoda Thakur now and see what grows when you are humble. The first thing he says is you are able to take shelter. If you, the ability to take real shelter comes only to a humble person, not to someone who thinks, I'm great, I can solve everything. The second gift of humility to anyone, according to Bhajan Rahasya, is freedom from bodily identification. You can understand, I'm not this body. You don't identify with the beautiful body and the learnings of the body, the wealth that surrounds it, and so on. Another thing which comes from humility is tolerance and the ability to give respect to devotees. But I would like to talk about the sixth gift of humility. Only a humble person becomes eager for Krishna Bhajan. My dear devotees, today our Gauranga Darshan said so nicely how we have heard about Krishna and the glory of the holy name, and how we try to focus our mind and try our best to do it. But after some time, my dear devotees, he said, the mind runs somewhere else. You need eagerness in Krishna consciousness. Eagerness, in fact, is the only price to pay for Krishna Bhajanamrita, the nectar of Krishna. And I want to talk about this. Now, maybe, Prabhuji, you can give it a second try. You can maybe say to the Blind Man's Orchestra, if he, no, he is a genuine blind man, that it's so nice if he wants to perhaps tune the volume a little down. And our sign of appreciation is that when we are finished with this session in 1 hour or so, we will all go and listen to him. And we might, and some of the people might drop a donation. You always have to say, what is in the interest of the person? They come here because they know here many people. And if you say like this, but if you're loud, the chances is that no one will drop a donation. The chance. We don't know. Bhagavan can arrange everything. Or if he wants to sing, you can say, sing softly, nice soft bhajans. The Westerners appreciate, yeah. We are in Braj, and everything should be done lovingly. So eagerness, my dear devotees, this is your prize. If you're not eager, you can have a big meal. Yeah. If you can have a nice meal right before you with 20 preparations. If you're not hungry, you will not have any benefit from the meal. You will not eat. I'm at the moment not so thirsty, so this first-class peppermint tree is still untouched because I have no eagerness. Krishna consciousness by many of us is still untouched because the eagerness is lacking. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells a verse which can make us eager. Would you like to know this verse? Prabhupada was often chanting this verse. And when I was called to guard his door, as the devotees were always very joyful and loud before Prabhupada's door. So someone was the door guard who said, psh, psh, psh. Prabhupada translates inside. So I was sitting before his door, doing translations from English to German, and then I heard him often singing this particular song. It's a song for eagerness and for developing eagerness. He would sing it like this. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam. You can join me, please. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam. Adyeva me vishatu manasa rajahangsa prana prayana samaye kapavata pittaye kantavaro vadanvido smaranam kutaste. Dear Krishna, this is King Kula Shikar praying. I have only one desire. May the swan of my mind enter the network of the stems of your lotus feet on this very day. For when it is time for the life airs to leave my body, when I die, my throat will be choked up by the disruption of the body's mucus, wind and bile. How will it be possible for me to think of you then? My dear devotees, all of us will have to die. Not only the older devotees will die. Not only the gurus will die, because we cry when the gurus die. Not only the neighbor in your neighboring apartment will die. Death will come for you. And while you have still time, don't waste it, but use this precious human form of life to obtain Krishna. My dear devotees, I have to say, I'm sitting like this because I have a knee problem. I hope you don't find it. You take this knee. Outer appearance is so much in our movement, so I better do like this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the days of my life are being wasted as I immerse myself in the daily grind of material life, getting up, washing my body, first making my teeth. It's a daily grind. Then I have to somehow dress daily. It's so boring. Then I have to go out and make some money, or do something and meet people I don't like. Daily grind. The days of my life are being wasted as I immerse myself in the daily grind of material life. If only my mind would worship you. So I pray that the swan of my mind be caught in the cage made by the stems and roots of your lotus feet and remain always in the ocean of spiritual delight. Where we live, where our little ashram is, it's right by the side of the lake, and there are swans on the lake, and we see what this verse means. The swans are hungry, and what they do is they come to our side where the lake is not so deep, and then they put their necks, beautiful necks, into the water, because the best food for them is found at the root of these plants. You call them reeds, Schilfrohr in German. And they go there and they find their food there. And sometimes it happens that they experience great delight and they make a noise, quack, quack, quack. And then other swans come because they know there's a beautiful food is down there. So this, imagine a swan would become entangled in it and would always stay underwater. And imagine that he is equipped for staying underwater. Then he would always be in the delight of the best meal. No? This process of looking for food at the foot of the reeds is called Gründeln. It's not a Sanskrit word, it's a German word. So this is what the devotee wants. He feels, I am so much engaged outside, above the nectar. I'm missing the entire nectar. Now I want to go deep and stay with the nectar, like the swan who puts his head deep into the under the water and is in the water where it finds delicious food. This eagerness comes, my dear devotees, when you know that you have only a few hours left in your life, you will use them properly. When you are aware that you will die, either in 20 years, I'm now 72, but I feel like 40, so in 60 years for me. I will die in 60 years. Or in 40 years, or in 20 years, or in 10 years, or in 5 years, or in 2 years, or in 1 hour. When you are aware of this, you will not waste time. Therefore, a saint's activity is to always keep his inevitable death right in front of his eyes. It's a sadhana. That's how one Jain monk said, we should have a funeral pyre. Thank you so much, Prabhu. At every street corner, there should be more cemeteries and funeral pyres at the street corner than shops. Because the death is more real than the bidis, which you can buy at the shop. And it will remind us when we see death that this is the inevitable end of our earthly existence. It's good to think about this. It's healthy to think that I don't have too much time. Good. These are some of the gifts of humility. Would you like to go through them with me again? I also don't, I remember the first, a humble person can do what? Take shelter and surrender, exactly. The second gift is free from the bodily identification. And also, that means not thinking you are glorious. Like yesterday when I heard you chanting so nicely, I became really humble for a moment. I thought, these they chant so much nicer than me. Why do I talk to them? They should talk to me. And I felt like this, really genuine. You can also become what is so important in Kali Yuga, my dear devotees, tolerant. Your tolerance level will rise, and you won't be so intolerant when something not so nice happens to you. You will be able actually to not be envious of devotees when you are humble, but what is the opposite? Give respect to them. Yes, that's the next gift of humility. But what I think is perhaps most important in our life is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says is that gift of eagerness. Then he goes into verses from the Stotra, from Yamunacharya's Stotra Ratna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written extensively about this composition. He has made Bengali comments. And these verses train you to become humble. Humility must be practiced with your entire being. There is humility of the body. What could that mean? Paying obeisances, exactly. When you enter the temple, when you see a devotee, or at the end of this beautiful, beautiful katha this morning, there was no, I could just touch the earth and put it to the head, no, but I felt, let me pay obeisances to this beautiful katha. No, this is what I can do with the body. Now comes the more difficult form of humility. Could you imagine what is more difficult? The mind, yeah, that you really are convinced that you are humble. With the body, it's relatively easy. No, it's you go down like you go down when you make burpees. It's not a Sanskrit word. It's not important, Then comes still a deeper form of humility. And so what could that mean? Feeling yourself humble. For me, my dear devotees, the best works for me when I read the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Sarnagati, and especially the section called Dainyam. No? That Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave us a song which you can maybe find. Amara Divan Sada Papirati Rata Naika Ponyera Clay. Let's sing this. I will sing one line and you repeat after me. It's a simple song. I mean, it's not long. Amara Jivan Sada Papirata Nahiko Punyera Les. You have mobile telephones. It's such a nice song. You can find it in what is it? KKSongs.org, and you type in Amara, and then Jivana. Amara Jivana. So those who know and have found, you can share with your neighbor. Sing, please. Amara Jiva Sada Papirata Naika punyera le parere udvega tiache ye koto. Everyone, parera udvega tiache jivera klesh. Tiache jivera klesh. Nitya sukha lagi abhinahi dore toyo hina swatapayoe. Nitya sukha lagi abhinahi dore toyo hina swatapayoe. O para suke duke sadamitya buddhim duke duke sadamitya vasi para suke duke sadamitya vasi para dukkha sukha karo. Para sukha sukha daro koro. Amara jivana sada paparata nahika punyera leshman. Amara jivana sada paparata nahika punyera leshman. Amara jivan sada paperata noiko punyera lesha. O parere udvega diace che koto. Parere udvega diace ye koto. Diace jivera kles. Diace jivera kles. There are many more verses. You know, in Bengal, the worstest form to humiliate someone is to take a shoe and beat him with this. This was once done in an ISKCON temple. This is the worstest offense in the Bengali culture. I also wouldn't like to be beaten by someone's shoes, but I wouldn't take it that serious. But in Bengal, oof. So every day, says Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta, in order to come to humility or the feeling of wretchedness, being humiliated, is to take a shoe in the morning and beat the mind with the shoe, and in the evening with a broomstick. Now, this is a metaphor. You can't beat the mind with a shoe and a broomstick. The mind is subtle. Shoe and broomstick is gross. What does this mean? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained what this means. It means to sing this song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where you say, I'm an impious sinner. I have caused others great anxiety and trouble, for instance, your parents, no? who were worried for you. I have never hesitated to perform sinful act for my own enjoyment. Remember what you did. Devoid of all compassion. I'm happy when someone is miserable. I don't feel compassion. Devoid of any compassion, concerned only with one thing, my own selfish interest. I'm remorseful when I see others happy. I'm a perpetual liar. I constantly lie. And the misery of others is a great source of pleasure for me. There are 6 verses like this. And if you have read it, you will see 1 or 2 of these descriptions are describing you spot on. Maybe you will not say, do you know this ugly tendency when you feel that someone is not good? Ah, good, finally they got their universal justice, There are these things in our hearts, and they are identified by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in order that we become humble in where? In our body or where? A mind, yes. And then there is the heart. I would like to sing a song for you, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes here. It's a famous song. Oh Hari, I'm actually guilty for committing thousands and thousands of offenses. If I look at my life, I have to say I'm drowning inside this terrible, turbulent ocean of material existence. I have truly lost my way. But I also wish to say, this comes from my heart. I desire to find the right path. And that is why I have taken shelter at your lotus feet. Kripaya Kevalam Atma Satguru. Please accept me as your own. I have no qualification. If you should accept me as your own, it's only out of your mercy alone. That's all. This is a genuine expression which comes in 12, Bhajan Rahasya 3.12, no? It comes there in case you want to get the book from Loy Bazaar. No? And then in words, my dear devotees, I often think when someone comes to me and says, oh Maharaj, and does these words which are in the ISKCON narrative, I'm your humble servant. Then I say, what have you done for me already? You tell, I'm not aware that you are my servant. Please, what have you done, or what do you wish to do? What you just said, your humble servant. Okay, you said a little earlier, please forgive me for my offenses. And I said, sorry, what offense did you do? Then I say, why do you say words that mean nothing? Do you have such a low opinion of me? I take serious what you say. When you said, please forgive my offenses, I wanted to help you, but you didn't know what you do. When you said, I'm your servant, I thought you had done something, but I wanted to give you something, or spend time with you, but you have lied to me. I'm so disappointed with you. You can speak humble words if you are humble with your body, with your mind, and with your heart. Otherwise, it's only words. So many words which mean nothing. And so, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives us a very, very wonderful. So you need to practice humility, my dear devotees. Otherwise, it's only a verbal gymnastics. You need to be humble with the body. Do menial service. No? Menial. Yes, for instance, you could clean the toilets here. That's an accepted traditional way of menial service. By the way, we have stuff for this, and you may not know where there's the soap and how to do it good, I'm just saying you could help arrange the hall, for instance, or whatever. Or with your mind, my dear devotees, embrace this concept. Yes, I'm a fallen soul. With your heart, pray from your heart, my Lord, accept me. And then your words, they are very good. Your words at that time are not theory. Your words at that time are golden words. They are full of realization. There is a very nice song where someone, Hari Hey. So I give you the sonata, the words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I have come here to say something to you. Oh, Hari, Lord Hari, I have no steadfastness in performing my spiritual duties. I don't chant 16 rounds every day. No steadiness. I have no clear spiritual understanding. When I hear some of the lectures, something is totally new and I get confused. I have not even devotion for your lotus feet. Therefore, I'm worthless and wicked. I don't know what will happen to me after death. I think it will be very inauspicious. And do you know what, Lord? I'm constantly engaged only in one thing. I deceive myself and others. Potita pavanatumi, patita adamami, tumi mora eka matra gati. Tava padamule painu, tomara sharanalainu, amidasa dasa, tumi nitya. You are the savior of the most fallen. Don't close your eyes when you see me. And I am the most degraded of creatures. You are thus my only refuge, and I take shelter of your holy lotus feet. I am the servant, and you are my eternal master. Can you hear? This is genuine humility in words. We know it comes from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is the real person. My dear devotees, practice humility with the body, within your mind. Be, for instance, remorseful when you do something wrong and you catch yourself doing something wrong. Be remorseful. Say sorry. Then in your mind. And in your heart, some heartfelt prayers Krishna wants to hear. And words also. No? That will make you qualified to chant the holy name and reach these high levels of being absorbed in Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. At that time, your spiritual life will be very good. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives us an inspiration in his work. He says, if you desire to engage in chanting Krishna's names in glory, then do everything you can do to gain the qualifications necessary to do so. If you want the highest, do everything. And the first thing he recommends is give up false ego and think of yourself as very lowly and wretched. These are realized words. These are words of powers. They are words of thunder. They announce the coming of the beautiful rainfall of Chaitanya's mercy. No? The Madhurya Kadamini. This is the Bhajan Rahasya. It's very practical. It is very, very real. It gives you guidance to become the qualified recipient of Krishna's mercy. Hare Krishna. What do you think? Something to think about, no? I want to end now this class. Let me first look at the wristwatch where we are. Oh, we are good in time. Who of you did today the morning smaranam? I'm surprised and very happy. What we learned is we should remember Krishna, and then we learned a practice to do it. Because, see, if you, I must tell you, I always wanted to swim. So then my older brother, we lived on an island where there was absolute opportunity for swimming. He went to the swimming course. But my older brother, those who know him, he is my older brother, so I will respect him. He didn't learn in the swimming course. Then came the day. The swimming teacher, there was the ocean, and there was this pier where they tie the boats, told all the swimming candidates to sit like a frog, manduk asan, at the edge of the water, and no one knew what was coming. I was watching from the land. I had not gone to the swimming course. So then he went to the edge, and he shouted, now! And then he went, and through all the swimming candidates, he gave them, he just threw them into the water. And my older brother hadn't learned properly, and someone else. And then they needed to be saved from drowning. You can only learn if you practice swimming. I thought I'd never go into the swimming school. I never. I want to swim. But then I said, so what do you do with the front arms and what do you do with the legs? And then I had no instructor. So I went by myself into the ocean. I showed Krishna the spot where I swam for the first time in my life. And for 1 month, I tried to practice with the hands this, and with the legs, the appropriate movements, until finally one day, I still remember, it was raining. I was as determined as Arjuna for martial art. I trained in all weathers. Then one day in the rain, and it was already becoming dark, I swam around that black rock in the ocean. And I never forget this. Even now, when I'm an old man, I don't forget when the practice was giving fruit. So in Krishna consciousness, in these things, my dear devotees, practice is necessary. It was necessary. That's why young people went in the ashram of the guru, lived with the gurus, and he would instruct them. Do like this. Do the yagya like this. Say the mantra like this. Put the ladle like this. Study like this. Repeat the verse by verse like this. This is how you learn. And then only you learn. Theoretical knowledge is important. Yes, it shows us the way. But then there must be a practice. So if you want to remember Krishna, the morning practice is again what? You rise in the morning. What do? You chant Krishna's holy name. Ne? Krishna Krishneti Kirtayan. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You just chant. You will immediately set your mind in a different way. What is the next thing you do? Yes, one should, here it says only one should meditate on the 2 feet of the Guru placed on one's head. This is an old way of expressing surrender to the Guru. If you like to do it in the traditional way, I feel I inconvenience Prabhupada if I asked him to put the feet on my head. So I just think of him, I think of his teachings, but more I think of his, his nature, how he lived as a devotee. No? And then after this, what do you do? Yes, I think I heard it from you. Yes, I think I heard it properly. One should perform smaranam of Krishna and utter the following verse. You can do, the main thing is you think of Krishna, and then you can go into your japa and your day. That's smaranam in the morning. But there's also something you can do in the evening. And I highly recommend it. It's at that time, latest, when you have laid down and sleep has not yet come. At that time, you can either recite the verse or think about the meaning of the verse. It's from Bhagavatam, those who like to take notes of verses, 11 to 36. I repeat for you, 11th canto, chapter 2, verse, what was it, 49? No, 36. Good. I will chant it for you. Those who know can chant with me. Would you like to chant on C, maybe? This is a little deep. One moment. No, D is better. Kayena vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmanavanusrita svabhavat karoti yat sakalam parasmai Narayanayeti samapayetam. I will say it one time alone, this last line. It's a beautiful line. You will like to chant it. Narayanayeti samapayetat. Narayanayeti samapayetat. So, whatever I have done with my body, whatever I have done with my words, with my mind, senses, intelligence, or purified consciousness, I offer this to you, my Lord, with the lines, this is for the pleasure of you, Lord Narayan. This is Smaranam as an evening practice. You go through your day and you offer the results of your activities. Perhaps you are Grihastha, you have earned on that day $25. I don't know what is nowadays, maybe more, 50 or you know. Perhaps you'd have led kirtan. Perhaps you have done something with your words, lectured. Perhaps you have done something with your intelligence, figured something out. No? Perhaps you have made a resolve, a determination that you want to serve Krishna more, this purified consciousness. Narayanayeti samapayet tvam. Narayanayeti samapayet tvam. It is for you, my Lord. This is when we started, someone asked the typical question, I cannot think of Krishna. My mind is too restless. This is a way how to train your mind, that you can think of Krishna throughout the day. If in the evening you start in a here, and it relates not to the highest level of smaranam, it relates to you, how you are now, your conditioned nature. It says like this. I read now the translation. In accordance with the particular nature one has acquired in conditioned life. No, I'm a German, I'm a little outspoken, I speak very loud and disturbing. That's my nature. By the way, that disturbing I try to do to wake you up. It's a service. I'm usually not like that in private conversations. So whatever your nature is, whatever you have done with your body, whatever one does with body, words, mind, senses, intelligence, or purified consciousness, that is everything, the entirety of yourself. One should offer to the Supreme Lord thinking, this is for the pleasure of Lord Narayan. Now, you may have read Dostoevsky on that time, on that day, The Idiot, a real good work on poetry, no? And you would think, how can I offer The Idiot to Krishna? My reading of this book. You can think, well, I felt I should read it because in this book we find an amazing story of an aristocrat who was humiliated by nature and went to hardship before he reached a state of high God consciousness. And I want to offer that I wanted to educate myself on my spiritual journey. I'm giving some example of the conditioned nature. There's only one thing you can't offer, sinful activities, no? But as you do this as a regular practice, you think one day, maybe I shouldn't read The Idiot or such Dostoevsky. He was a troubled man. Why should I read his? And you think, oh, let me do today something which I can offer really directly to Krishna. Wow, I will cook something for him. It will train you. It's a practice. But unless you start where you are, a conditioned soul with a conditioned nature, it will not work for you, this smarana. No? My dear Lord, whatever I have done and what is useful for you, I offer it is for you. Do you know why I talk now about smaranam? Because the thoughts of the past shaped me. When I was a young boy, I thought every day of God. I prayed in the evening to him, dear God, make me less wild. I'm now so wild young boy. Oh, I'm so embarrassed with myself. Please make me less wild so that I can one day come to you. I prayed this every evening. Can you imagine? And now it catches up. This was my evening prayer. Now I think there is something I can preach, can pray in Krishna consciousness. I practiced it, and the practice shaped the old man who's sitting now talking in Sanskrit to you, talking in the language of Srila Prabhupada's teachings to you. But if I would not have practiced, I would never have become like this. So you all have to start practicing morning and evening so that you will end up thinking of Krishna and never forgetting him. And then you can go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. Yeah. Yeah. You can see I'm no longer convinced of the Haribols of my audience. I will ask you in 10 years, did you do it? What I told you 10 years ago? Why do you still look so miserable? You didn't do it. I can see it in your face. My dear devotees, the principle of sadhana is what I do now is what I become later. Therefore it's called sat. Sat, it's the practices that bring you to eternal life. But you cannot stay a theoretical monk or a theoretical devotee. You have to, these things which call for action, you have to do with them. You have to make a practice out of them. The principle of sadhana, and you've heard this many times, is what you do now is what you become later. Or what I am now is what I practiced before. Hare Krishna. Now you are silent. You are watching me and I watch you. What will you do? Because this is Bhajan Rahasya ends with Smaranam. It ends with Leela Smaranam, and more particular the Ashtakaliya Leela Smaran. But we feel we are not qualified for this. And yes, first comes mantra Maya Upasana. You take a mantra. Now there is one mantra which many of you know, which is explained by Gopal Guru Goswami in his work, How the Devotees of Chaitanya Practice Smaranam. There are two works, but I want to recite Shri Shri Gaur Govinda Achan Smarana Padati. Our devotee will give me his handy. And he explains one verse in which Smaranam can be done. Divyat Vrindavana. He describes a temple which is built, no, this is in our Mangal Acharana, in our tradition. There is a temple, it is built not with bricks, it is made out of jewels. And this temple stands in a location, just next to it is a tree. It's not an ordinary tree. It is a kalpavrikshu, a wish-fulfilling tree. And it is there where Sri Sri Radha Govinda sit, served by their most confidential associates. They sit upon an effulgent throne, like you can see in the hall, and I offer my humble obeisances unto them. So this is the verse. Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha. Say, Divyat Srimat Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimat Radha Shila Govinda Devo Peshtalibi Sevyamano Smarami. We will sing now a short Kadamba melody, and very short, and I will guide you. Remember, it's a practice. You do it, and then you build new sanskaras. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Please sit straight. Do a few deep breaths. I certainly need it because I'm a little excited. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Excellent. Please chant one more time. Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We all have seen the beautiful Krishna Balaram temple with its spirals, domes, the ornamented doorways, and the spacious courtyard inside, where there is a tamal tree. So there is a temple in Vrindavan. It is built out of jewels. Please see the temple in Vrindavan in your mind's eye as you chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this temple is a protected area, a courtyard with a beautiful desire tree. And just under the tree is a golden, effulgent, shining throne. And on the throne, there is Shri Radha Govinda sitting. In your mind's eye, go into the courtyard where the Kadamba tree is and the golden throne with Radha and Krishna or Radha Govinda. Please sing now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama. And there are also associates, Lalita, Vishaka, fanning. Vishaka has a peacock feather fan, and Lalita a chamara whisk. Others give the divine couple betel nuts, and Krishna smiles, being pleased with the service. Shrimati Radharani also smiles. Sometimes she takes the corner of her sari and covers her smile because she's very shy. Please sing now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hi bo! Hare Rama, Rama Rama. One more time, all of us. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Giriraj, Jaya Giriraj, Giriraj, Giriraj. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Krishna, Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha. Gaura Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol. So, Hare Krishna. This was a long lecture. I'm so compact. We started out with Mantrata Chintanam, thinking about the meaning of the holy name. Then we went to the point, who is qualified to chant? And we mused and reflected on what verse, please? Trinadapi, exactly. And we said this is a good, very good verse, but you will remain your entire life stuck in false ego if you don't practice being humble. No? So then we said, yes, it has to be done with the body, with menial service, with the mind. We sang the song which really humbles us. What was the first line of the song? Amara Jivan. Please read it in its entirety. It's a very, very educational song. Then we went. What? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, yes. Right. Then he said it should be done every morning. So we took from Hari Bhakti Vilas a morning smaranam practice. You remember what it was? What do you do when you get up? Chant, yes. And what you do afterwards? Yes, I guess you do it after your hygienic activities. I have learned a bath is only a proper bath when it's also a mantra bath. I have learned in the Shikshastakam series of Hari Parshad Prabhu that his Guru Maharaj, very educated, learned, His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj said this. There are various types of bath. The dust bath is also there. Water bath, we are most, but the water bath and all baths should be accompanied with mantra. Then it's purifying not just the body, but the inner person. No? And finally, we also went to the evening practice. Where can we find the verse which is about the evening practice? 11:2. Yes, you know everything. Or your notes know everything. Hare Krishna. And then we did one, to do full justice to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's work, we did a small Smaranam practice on a verse that is the Pranam mantra, I understand, of Shri Radha Govinda. No? And it is known in our movement, it is there, it is, we can feel very comfortable to think sometimes about the translation of this verse. Let our curiosity not stop by just learning the Sanskrit. In old times, people knew the meaning of Sanskrit. Now we don't know this any longer. So we have to learn it in our language, not to fully know the verse. It is important. Good. Whew. I'm very, very thankful for you that you listen to this class I want to see if there are now any questions which are there. No, I'm. You're not the wife of Naveen Krishna, no? Oh no. Oh, sorry. I thought. So, do we have a microphone, Rajesh? We have. I saw this Mataji first. I thought it's an elderly Mataji. So who else has questions? There is one in the back, and here is one person. Perhaps you make your way to the microphone already while the question goes on, and then we take you on as the next, the two of you.
Hey Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. Maharaj, you mentioned you're discussing and stressing on the point how we should call out to Krishna while we're chanting, and at the time of death, that will help. That practice will help us eventually at the time of death. So Maharaj, I wanted to ask, when we call out to Krishna at the time of death, does it really have to be with love, or can it also be out of fear? Or can it also be like a Jarmila who just called out to his son, whose name is related to Krishna?
The verse says at that moment, nothing is under control any longer, in any way. Fear, shock, fright. Krishna will understand his devotee. He understands it's a difficult moment to leave the body. There are 4 fears which come at the moment of death. The first fear is, I will lose everything, I will leave everything behind. The second was the fear, I'm not certain where I will go now. I don't know. For cultured people, it is, oh, people I love will cry for me. I don't want them to feel sad. No. And there are 4 fears like this. For different mentalities, for different people, it's more prominent and so on. Yeah, so Krishna understands. There is a verse, it's called the Sharama, there are 4 shlokas. I turn to Hari Prasad. What is the name of these shlokas which are so important? Oh sorry. You're there. These 4 essential shlokas, Charama shlokas, of in the Ramanuja Sampradaya. Charam shloka. You may proceed. Yes. No, it's impolite. I did not know that Hari Prasad was just proceeding. So yes. One of the verses you know very well is Savadamang Parijaja Mang Ekang Sharanam Vrajam. You recognize the verse? Yes. Another verse is from the Varaha Purana. I can only give it, I don't know it in Sanskrit to be honest, is if a devotee does not think of me, I will think of him at the moment of death. Even if you're so inconvenienced, it could be well that you are severely sedated because of painkillers, and you cannot think, you cannot direct your mind. Krishna will think at that time of you. He will not forget you. In fact, he will remember what you have done throughout the life. He is Krishna. He's kind, a kind Lord. So in whatever way, it's good if you leave the body and have some devotees do kirtan. That helps a lot. And put some Ganga water. And it's not so bad as you think. No, I'm not joking. My father listened to, he was a very strong man, but he listened in spiritual matters sometimes to me. Sometimes. So when he died at his deathbed, we found the Bhagavad Gita. He had said, 2 days before my death, no one should come to me. I need to now compose my mind and prepare myself to leave. He was like this, a very strong warlord, So you have to be careful to not upset him. So he had the Bhagavad Gita and another book, and he also painted for all of us a picture. He painted a smiley. Do you say these words? Smiley? With closed eyes. It's a dead smiley, And then he made a little, in German you say Sprechblase. How do you call this in English? Speech bubble. And he said, it's not as bad as you think to die. Not so difficult. I pray that Krishna was kind to him. Yeah. Everyone dies. Everyone can do it. You will also be able to do it nicely. No problem. It's only closing one door to one life, and at that time, Krishna will come and transport you where he wishes you to go. No need to be afraid, but still, when it comes, we are afraid, of course. Next question. No. Two have been here. Our Prabhu. We have a list. Queue. In India, that's I've never seen people standing in line. They stand in mass, and whoever is the strongest and struggles fastest will make the race. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, thank you so much for inspiring us to remember Krishna. May I humbly request you to kindly share the shloka references which you have been giving us in the last 3 sessions, because I missed few of them. So I don't want to miss the opportunity to miss even any single shloka or the references.
This is a very, very good question. I'm also like this.
I humbly request you to kindly, because these are diamonds for us, because we will not be able to find in the ocean of diamonds.
My dear Prabhu, you have to do the work. Why do I have to do your work? What you do is there are recordings. You go to the recordings. You are interested, then you work for it,
I'll do it as per your instruction. I'll follow it sincerely.
I will ask you if you did it. Don't say something which you don't do.
No, actually,
What's your name?
Rupa.
Good, I remember.
Actually, at the beginning of the retreat, you had asked us that what is the agenda that we should follow. So one of my colleague devotees, we decided that we will revise the lectures before night, and we will share our realizations and learnings.
Now I understand.
So in some of the, this thing that I missed some sloka references because I did not know that from which shastric reference these are slokas. Because if it is Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, I can do a quick search. But if it is other like Bhajan, Rahasya or something, I'm not very much aware.
The slokas which you have heard today are quoted by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And yes, Bhajan Rahasya is difficult perhaps to access. I will give you the I will give you the references just now, because I understand now you wish to hear in the or discuss in the evening.
Yeah.
So the Trinadapi sloka, it appears in the Antya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I quoted Krishnadas Goswami. It's 3:20:20. Means Antya Lila 20:20 and 22 to 24. Then I just I did not quote the verses. I just quoted Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the gifts of humility, what you get. But I request you to talk with your friend about this last gift. Eagerness comes when you practice humility for Krishna Bhajan. And that is verse 33 of the Mukunda Mala Stotra by King Kulashika. You will find it also in the computer world. Mukunda, new word, Mala, and then text 33. That's a very famous verse. Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjaranta. May I now remember you, Krishna. May I practice now, because at the time of my death, my throat will be choked up, and like our young devotee was saying, I may be so afraid, So I need to practice now. That was there, and there's so many. And the Bhagavatam verse, I think you remember for the evening practice. If you want to write it down again, 11 to 36. I think, there's so many. These are the important things to review. The others you have to find. What I do when the reference was not given in a lecture, I hear online lectures. I just type in the first word, which and perhaps also the second, and usually it shows up. The search functions are now amazing. I must say, I write this down and give it to Krishna. When I come close to a computer, the computer gets in panic and runs away because I will do everything wrong, which you can do wrong. So we are not a good match. Computers and telephones and me don't work. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Mahavir, that was your question. We will now go to the next because we have to give everyone equal chance. No? Kindly, our devotee. But thank you, Mahavir. Very nice.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. So I just wanted to ask about humility, cultivating humility, and you spoke very wonderfully about cultivating the feeling of wretchedness. And I've seen the tendency within myself and within the movement that can border on almost like self-hatred, especially if we're coming from maybe a background where there's already a negative self-concept. So could you speak a little bit about how to develop that genuine humility because it seems to me that that's not real genuine humility when it turns into a self-hatred.
Yeah.
So how to develop that?
How wonderful your question is. Prabhu, it's humility must be cultivated in relationship to Krishna and service to Krishna. Yes, we may be fallen, but you, Krishna, so wonderful, so merciful, so great. And then your heart will soften with tender feelings of gratitude and so on. But if you cultivate humility in relationship to your mistakes only, or your character faults only, then you're not focusing on Krishna, who can elevate your soul. Any contact with Krishna will do this. Also thinking of him in feelings of humility. But if you think only in terms of you associate with your mistakes and so on, and then you go down. You have to always see that whatever you do, whatever you try to cultivate is you have to do that in relationship to Krishna. Let us talk a little on desire. I will talk in a very clinically accurate way, so no one will have to blush. We are full of desires. Now, if you direct your desire to lower things, money, your own position, or towards a member of the opposite gender, your desire will turn into lust, no? By the association of thinking of these lower things. But if you turn your desire to Krishna, eventually it will become purified, and turn into prema. Mhm. Imagine yourself standing on a ladder. Do I say the English word properly? Ladder. In the middle of the ladder. If you look down and climb down, you will go down. If you look up and climb up, you will go up. So the human being is juxtaposed in the middle and has to make the decision: will I go low or will I go up? It's the decision. So when you practice anything, you go up the moment you think of Krishna. You go down the moment your mind wraps around and becomes entangled with sense enjoyment, or with bad qualities or material qualities. Remember the verse, the lecture yesterday was talking about the mind becomes entangled with the things it thinks about. No? That's why Mukunda Mala says, let my mind become entangled in the lotus feet of Krishna, like the swan who is entangled in the groundwork, no, in the plants on the ground. Yeah. Initially, it may be, Rupa Goswami describes there are 3 causes of feeling wretched. I remember one, it is the awareness that you have done offenses. That's how Bhaktisiddhanta starts his song Amara Jivana, I'm offender. No, this is how Yamunacharya says, there are thousands of offenses I have committed. Becoming aware that you have done offenses is a cause of humility. It brings it to humility, your mind. Aparada, so that's aparada. Yeah, that was, give me just a second chance, and best is a Brahmi pill, Ayurvedic pill, Brahmi, take Brahmi, then you don't forget. Or pray for a mind like Gauranga Darshan, who can, I think we could sit him down, he could talk for a year about verses and he wouldn't repeat himself. Yeah. Gauranga Darshan, do you remember? Could you help me? It comes in the later sections of Nectar of Devotion. Left also, good. Yeah, they need to prepare this. I only know this now. It's an honest understanding of your faults. Oh yeah, there was some other. You have really missed an opportunity when you've become aware of this. It initially starts there for us conditioned souls. But then we should turn to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you're so kind. Please forgive me. Please elevate me. And in this way, we will not fall into the hole of self-deprecation, minority complex, and all these things which only a good psychotherapist can heal, perhaps. No, it happens in spiritual movements that people castigate themselves for their mistakes because they're now more sensitive and see more things as mistakes which they have not seen before. And if they are a little shaky in their personality, and many who are like this come to spiritual movement in the hope to become firm and fixed, then yes, it can go the other way, can go the wrong way. So therefore, always do it in the relationship to Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Pahimang, save me. Rakshamang, protect me. And then all of a sudden you feel blissful. My dear devotees, we have reached our time. Once again, thank you so much. I hope it was relevant. I hope it was practical. If you should forget everything you have heard today, that which 80% of you will do, try to remember one word. Remember. Remember Krishna. No? Simple. And you know everything by that word. I wish you all the best and see you. The rest of the program is known to you. We will now make our way and happy conversations to Giriraj's Prasadam dining hall. And then there is a good noon break for us where we can do all the things which need to be done. And Hari Prasad's thought-provoking, Hari Parshad's thought-provoking lecture will start at 4:30. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.